Hey guys, what's up? This is John, aka Jin4576 for Toilet Testing, and it's Thursday, so it's time to stream NHL 16. So get a quick refresher. I kind of simmed it out a little bit. So last time you guys checked, I was pretty much 3-0 against Detroit. Detroit did get a game on me when I simmed it, but eventually New Jersey won the series 4-1. On the other side, Dallas edges out Nashville 4-3, so it's Dallas and New Jersey for the Cup Final. How about that? Alright, so while this thing is loading, update on the scores. There are games going on right now. Right now, Columbus has just scored against New Jersey, and it's 4-1. And I don't know why Columbus always has New Jersey's number. It's ridiculous. I can't believe that New Jersey's got to play them a couple more times before the season's over. It sucks. The Rangers and St. Louis are tied at 0 right now in the first. I think that's the only games I have right now. Yeah. So hopefully New Jersey can somehow gut out a win, but I'm not too confident. They pulled Schneider already at the end of the first because he gave up 3, so it'll be pretty rough. But enough of that. Let's talk a little bit of standings wise and stuff. A little bit of scoreboard looking if we get a chance. So in the Atlantic, pretty much Florida and Tampa Bay have pretty much been up there. Tampa Bay is only 3 points down from Florida. Boston's tied with Tampa Bay right now at 72. And that Atlantic's gonna get really, really tight. Detroit is in the running too to take that spot. So there's gonna be 3 spots for 4 teams. One of them will probably take one of the wild card spots in the East. Over in the Metro Division, of course, it's Washington still. They have 92 points now. The Rangers are at 74, and the Islanders are at 71, so they're 3 behind. In the wild card, like I said, Detroit is at 71. Pittsburgh is at 68 points, but they've played a couple games fewer. They're at 59 games played. Everyone else around them is pretty much at 61 games played, so keep that in mind. New Jersey is 1 point behind them at 67, but like I said, they've played more games than Pittsburgh, so... Oh god. So that's a little bit deceiving. Oh, come on! Kerry Lettinen can't do that. Alright. Yikes. You have Carolina, who's at 66 points, who actually has gone into a pretty good streak in the last week to really put themselves in it. And it looked like they were going to trade Eric Stahl, possibly. I mean, that's been the talk for the last couple of weeks, but now, I mean, Carolina's kind of in the race, so it's going to be a dicey decision. I mean, if I were Carolina, I would just ride it out, only because, you know, Eric Stahl's been on Carolina forever. You know, the least you can do is let the man ride it out, and then let him do whatever he's got to do. But I understand that Carolina wants to probably get something out of it too, so we'll see what they do come trade deadline on Monday.
Dallas shifting gears back in their own end. Puck is thrown to Jordy Bent. Heads along the boards. Slides it to the point. Save! Great scoring chance.
No! Oh, I saw that shit coming from like a mile away. Ottawa is right below Carolina with 64 points, and Philly's at the bottom of this list at 63, but they've played less games than everyone else. They're at 59 also, so they do have games in hand to catch up, but who knows if they'll capitalize on it or not. Ugh. Hate giving up the first goal, it really sucks. Alright, let's get it back. Let's get it back. Ooh, drew a penalty, nice. So over in the Western Conference, let's take a look at the Pacific Division first. LA still on top for the time being with 74 points. Anaheim, who's just on a crazy tear right now, has caught up just about. They're at 72. They're only 2 points behind LA, and San Jose is starting to catch fire too with their huge road trip. They definitely capitalized on that huge road trip. They're at 70 points. So it's looking like that Pacific Division is gonna get tight. But after third place, it's a huge drop. I think it's a 10-point. Oh, jeez. It's a 10-point gap between third and fourth in the Pacific. So it looks like it's gonna be a battle of California for the top 3 spots. It's just a matter of where, I guess. Over in the Central, Chicago's not in first anymore. It is Dallas, who has 82 points. Chicago is right behind them, despite losing Brian Elliott for 4 to 6 weeks. They're at 79 points, so they're keeping pace. I mean, Jake Allen's a pretty good goaltender too, so I don't have any worries about them keeping up. And then on the wild card, you have Nashville, who's at 69 points, and Colorado, who's right behind them at 68. That's not offsides? Really? Alright. No.
The shot is off. Here's one of those times where you look at the net and there's nothing there. That's where you just got to shoot for the center of the net. They must retreat.
Alright, let's try this again.
Pitching this one to Elias. It's a 2-on-2. What do they do next? Goes right past. Grabbed. You can't ask for a better opportunity in the scoring zone. What a great glove save. Puck collected by Larson. Still has it in the defensive zone. Long lead pass to Josephson.
Alright, let's wait for these guys to set up and then see what we can do. Oh, no.
Right near the line. Can he keep it going?
Nope, didn't keep it. So at that break point in the wild card, you have Minnesota, who's at 64 points, 4 points behind. You have Arizona, who's at 60. And you have Vancouver, who's just barely clinging on at 58 points. Of note, the last 10 games, if you are a California team that's not named Los Angeles, you've done pretty good. Anaheim is 8-1-1. They've actually put in a better streak if you look even further back to probably like the beginning of this year. And then you have San Jose, who's 6-2-2, which is not bad at all. And LA, who I wouldn't say it's a free fall, but they've definitely considerably taken a hit, is at 5-4-1, which is not cutting it right now. Uh-oh. Nah. Oh, shit.
Oh, that puck slowed up and just missed the side of the net. And picked up now by Roussel. Passed across point to point. Right back to Klingberg.
No. Alright, let's calm this down a little bit.
Taken up by Clough. Big drive.
Oh, off the post. So, a little interesting fact when I was looking at stats for the stream. New Jersey, they are actually in the running for the Jennings Trophy right now. Actually, Corey Schneider's gonna get possibly Keith Kincaid if he starts enough starts. They have pretty much left the least amount of goals in. Oh, God. Oh, it's my app. They have let in the least amount of goals in the league with 136, I want to say. 137. And that's not counting empty netter or shootout goals or anything like that. So that's 137. And on the other side of the coin, they are the worst offensive team in the league, only scoring 136 goals. So that's just so crazy. So you have a team that's the worst at they're literally the most defensive team in the entire league. And I've never I'm sure there are Devil teams in the past that have pretty much suffocated teams and never really scored much. I mean, thanks to that 1-2-2. But it's just so crazy to see that a team that's just struggling to score goals is at the same time playing very well defensively. I mean, some of it does go to Corey Schneider, who's probably having his best season ever. But it's just amazing to see. And at least if you're Ray Shero, you know what you need to improve if you're willing to improve this team right now. But there have been a lot of talks that Ray Shero is not really going to sacrifice the future for now. So he's going to stay the course. But if there's a move that's too good to be true, like a Jonathan Drouin kind of deal or something, then I'm sure he'll pull the trigger.
He's in good position. It's a rather routine stop.
So speaking about trade deadline stuff, trade deadline's on Monday. Trades are starting to come in. Right before this stream, Andrew Ladd from Winnipeg just got traded back to Chicago for Marco Dano and a bunch of picks and a bunch of guys that are minor leaguers or something, prospects. And pretty much it cost Chicago their first, I believe, if I saw it right. I always get confused on what goes where unless there's a Excel sheet kind of spreadsheet kind of thing going on. But if Andrew Ladd's gonna take a first round pick, then that is gonna be very, very interesting to see what happens with guys like Drouin, anyone from Edmonton, I would imagine, Michael Bacher possibly too. Oh, and also Winnipeg is retaining some salary, which is I think it's 36 to 39%. So that's if you're wondering how Chicago can afford that, well, there you go. And he's pretty much going to be a rental player, so I'm sure he knows that. And at least he's going back to a place where he's played before. So hopefully they get a little bit more success. I don't know why they would need any more firepower. I would imagine they would need to dump some salary at some point to re-sign some guys, but it's still a good move to get a Stanley Cup this year, basically. Let's check out the scores to see if there's anything changed. The Rangers have scored in St. Louis is now 1-0. That's almost at the end of the first. You have Nashville and Chicago. That's no score in the first. That's almost at the end. And you have a commercial in Columbus, which I'm assuming it's still 4-1 in the second. So good times, good times. After the Devils played an amazing game against the Rangers, it was literally one of the best games of the season. They're pulling up a stinker right now in Columbus. Corey Schneider got pulled. They kind of got screwed on the goal call that the ref blew a whistle quickly. The goaltender didn't really cover the puck, but it is what it is at that point. Ooh, nice goal by Tulusky, bobble popper. But if you can't score 3 more goals, it's not even going to matter. I mean, I know it's a turning point because it led to another goal, but, you can't let those things affect the outcome. You got to be able to overcome those, little hiccups in the game in order to win. That's pretty much what it boils down to. So speaking about goaltenders, let's take a quick look at the Vezina race. This is before play, so I'm assuming with Corey Schneider's pull and letting 3 goals in, his goals against and save percentage is going to skyrocket a little bit. But my top 3 picks that I've been watching, Brandon Holtby, Corey Schneider, and Peter Mrazek, they're still my top 3. Holtby is at 38-6-3 now, and he's getting closer to that Marty Brodeur record. His goals against average is very not great as compared to the other 2. Oh, nice save by Schneider. It's at 2.22, and his save percentage is at 923. It's really not that great. He's almost in Corey Crawford territory, who's a little bit worse. So he might drop out, but I think with his impressive win record, it's going to keep him in, regardless of how not great his goals against average is. And then both Schneider and Mrazek, they're very close in goals against and save percentage. Actually, one of them has one and the other has the other one, but it's not by much. Like, when they'll slip up will definitely give them an advantage. Yeah. Come on, come on. Oh. Nope. Nope.
If you're looking for this type of open ice hit, you better have a good angle, and that's exactly what happened. This is a big-time major collision. The goalie gave him the glove side, and he took it away. What a stop. Still has control in neutral ice.
All right. Severson. Oh, wide.
Wonderful chance. Tip to the
nope. Come on. Oh, just barely got it home. Lee Stepniak. But Corey Schneider, his record is 26-19-6. His goals against average is at 206, again, before this game started tonight. And his save percentage is at 927. Mrazek is at 23-11-6 with a 207 goals against average and a 928 save percentage. So, it's very close. I mean, those are the two significant goalies with the lowest goals against average. I mean, according to the NHL stats page, whenever I could actually get it to load, it was a bunch of other guys, like John Gibson is somewhere around there, but I mean, he hasn't played nearly enough games to be considered, and a bunch of like goaltenders that only played one game and like didn't let any goals in or anything like that. There's gonna be a way to filter that, to like be like, you have to play at least 25 games or something like that to be ranked, because like it's very confusing. But I would even settle for the NHL website actually working. Their stats page was totally destroyed like the whole entire day today. I mean, I'm lucky I can go to like TSN or ESPN or something like that to get the stats that I need, but I mean, come on, you're supposed to be the go-to place to get stats. You paid all this money for like this company to revamp your website and do all these like crazy analytics stuff, and I can't access it. Like, what is up with that? And I know they've had issues with NHL TV too with people, but come on, this is like the simplest thing ever. It's just crazy.
Jelena is trying to change momentum. He feels the fight's going to do it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Tonight it did.
He is fun to watch, isn't he, Ray? We'll do more of that now.
Oh man, that was a tight angle on Lee Stepniak. I don't know why they showed it when they were supposed to show Eric Jelena stuff, but okay.
Good job tying the man up on the faceoff. Teammate comes in. The Devils through the neutral zone lug the puck. Heads to the front. Puck out in front. Still has control at center.
So I want to make kind of a bold prediction on if a trade that New Jersey might make. I've been kind of thinking about it all day, and I know that trades like for Drouin or anyone from Edmonton is not going to work. I think any of those teams are going to demand a first if you're looking for, you know, a Nail Yakupov or Ryan Nugent-Hopkins or Jordan Eberle or even Jonathan Drouin. Like, I think the starting point is always, it's gonna be a first rounder or a very good prospect in a second. The Devils don't really have really good prospects, to be honest. So I think if you're looking to see if New Jersey is gonna make a deal in that venue, it's not gonna happen unless, you know, they trade Larson or something like that. So I wouldn't hold my breath. So I was thinking of something else. I mean, like, the little minor nothing trades are kind of hard to tell. And to be fair, I wouldn't mind if they made a nothing trade if it even bolstered the Albany Devils team, because I mean Albany's doing really well this season. They're second in the Eastern Conference right now. They're actually a threat this year. They've never been that good in the last couple of seasons, but this season, I mean, they've just turned it on. And so I'm hoping like maybe they'll get some backup or some guy like maybe not Stefan Mento because he's got to go down to waiver or go through waivers to get sent down, but someone that can get sent down can help that team out.
Solid, clean win. Very important if he can clear this puck out. Dallas has control of the puck in the defensive zone.
But getting back to what I was talking about before, I think a trade with Toronto, if they even still have things to trade left after Monday, I think is a good partner, because Lou Lamoriello really knows what players there are in New Jersey, like what the prospects are, how good they are, and that might actually be a thing that New Jersey can use to their advantage, because I'm thinking Toronto's going to need goaltending, right? Jonathan Bernier, he's signed for another couple of seasons for $4 million or something like that, and you know, I could see them riding it out, because like Toronto's not going to be good for the next maybe 2 or 3 years. That's how long Bernier's contract is, so why the hell not just ride it out? And plus you need guys that, you know, have a little bit of price to them to stay on the floor, so you know, why not? But I think if New Jersey's willing to do it, and this is they gotta be really trusting in that Corey Schneider's gonna be good for maybe 10 years or something, to trade Mackenzie Blackwood to Toronto. And I know, you know, some people didn't like the pick when they picked them in the second round, and maybe those same people will be pissed if we trade them, because they'll say, well, literally wasted a second rounder. But I think if Shiro thinks Corey Schneider is going to be good for a while, then there's no point in having Mackenzie Blackwood just waste away in the minors or whatever, and then call him up when he's like 26 or something. That makes no sense. So I would dangle Mackenzie Blackwood over Toronto's head, because they need a goaltender for the future, and I think Blackwood would fit perfectly, because you give him another year or two in juniors, and then you send him to the AHL, and then by the time this youth movement, I'm doing air quotes, youth movement gets through, then maybe he'll be ready and he'll be a great goalie. And I think the Devils should, even though it's kind of a risk, I would say, but they should go for James Van Riemsdyk, who's on IR right now with some kind of weird leg injury that was supposed to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, but it's looking pretty bad. He might be done for the rest of the season, to be honest. But I think JVR, he's 26. He's got a contract for $4.125, I want to say, for the next 3 seasons. It's not a bad contract. He's a pretty good player, although if his foot or whatever ankle is actually really bad, that might play. But you know, his contract isn't that long, so if it is bad, you can either trade him off or just not resign him. But I think if you give Toronto Mackenzie Blackwood, I would throw in Eric Jelena, because he seems like he doesn't want to be there anymore, so just send him out on his way. And I'm sure Lou Lamoriello knows that Jelena has potential. I mean, why would he give him that bridge contract for $1 million? So I don't think Lamoriello would be not like Eric Jelena, but from the comments he made last week, I think Jelena just wants out. So just throw Jelena in there. If anything, he'll help the Marlies, who are doing pretty crazy, and they kind of need a little bit of help too. So you throw in Jelena. I would also, if that wasn't enough, I would throw in a pick, but maybe like a second rounder or a third rounder, and see how that goes. I think it's possible. I mean, that is a lot, but you're giving him a pretty good prospect in Mackenzie Blackwood. You're getting them a pick, which they need. They already have 12 picks already spread out in 3 years, so I mean, just give them more picks. And if you don't want to give them a pick this year, then do one for the future. I mean, they don't have one for 2017, the second rounder, but 2018. Who the fuck cares? Let future New Jersey worry about that. And then give them Eric Jelena, and Jelena can be happy he's playing somewhere else and playing in the system that he kind of sort of knows, and playing with a GM that will probably keep him humble and motivated. I would think.
A real hot goaltender in front of him. As their coach, I would tell him to stay with it. Eventually, you get one, and then you get a.
Oh no, that sucked. But if we're looking at trades, I wouldn't go for anyone like that has like a 1 year left, like Bacher or Stahl or anything like that. It's too much risk to lose like picks and stuff for a rental who might not even come back. If you want to really sign those guys, I would just wait until free agency. Why the hell not? All you have to do is throw money at them. Devils have plenty of money, so you know that seems like an easier route in my opinion. If there's a pick involved, I wouldn't do anything. I would not touch any first rounders. The Devils still need those to get some talent in the prospect pool. So that's a no-no. I mean, I would do second rounder only because you have to concede something to get something. So that's my something, basically, is the second rounder. And that was a really weird goal by Tulusky. But the only actual roster player I wouldn't mind giving up is Eric Jelena. Stefan Matteau too, if anyone wants him, but I highly doubt anyone wants him. He's pretty much produced literally nothing all season. Although apparently they can't send him down the waivers because someone will pick him up, but I guess it makes more sense to take a risk on picking up someone for nothing kind of deal. I wouldn't touch Stepniak. I wouldn't touch Slemko. I know those are like good bargaining chips, especially if you're going for a youth movement, but I honestly think Stepniak and Slemko have kind of earned their right on this team. And I know it's kind of like looking at it in a non-business kind of sense, because of course, you know, those guys are producing and you want to get a return and all that stuff. But I think those guys who were just, you know, whatever pickups, like they played their hearts out, and they should at least end the season doing just that. And then, you know, there's a good chance they'll resign with New Jersey. I mean, I'm sure at least Stepniak would love to not, you know, move around again. And I mean, you don't have to give Lee Stepniak like 20 million years or anything like that. Like, he's 30, so I give him 3 years. 3 years at 2.5 million, 3 million, you know? And just, you know, leave it at that. You can always trade him later too if the time comes. Just don't make the years very long. And Schlemko, I would give him a little bit less, like 2 years, because he's a little bit older. And if you tack, as Devil fans know, like with Zubris or Salvador, if you tack on that third year, it hurts that third year. So I think the Devils would be more intent to just keep Schlemko for less time, especially when they have plenty of defense coming down the pipeline named Steve Santini.
Whether it's been a post, a crossbar, or the several times they've missed the net.
I don't know if you believe in omens, Ray. Maybe they do. That maybe it's got to turn around before the game ends. Over 8 minutes have gone by. The Devils have a 1-goal lead. They recently broke the tie.
Oh, goddamn.
But not past the iron. Looking from the blue line. Fires.
Try again, though.
Oh, here's a wrister. Dominance right now.
Oh, come on, he was all alone. No.
Not a lot of room to score from in that area. Great save.
So kind of an old story, kind of surfaced earlier last week. If you guys know, like, there was a story that broke out, I think it was a year ago. Jack Johnson from the Columbus Blue Jackets, his parents kind of spent all his money in a short sense. He signed a really big contract, I think they said with LA at the time, and it was like 35 million or whatever. And his parents basically bought like Ferraris and houses and took out these crazy ridiculous loans. And basically they put Jack Johnson into $2 million of debt. He had to actually file for bankruptcy, which was ridiculous. And obviously Jack Johnson trusted his parents with the financials because he literally just signed off the money to them saying, you guys can handle this. If you want to take something, then that's fine too. But it's so grimy. I cannot believe Jack Johnson's parents literally just did that to their own son. Like, I don't mind if you take a little bit of the pie, because yes, if you want to be like that kind of person, yeah, his parents do deserve something. Because, you know, all those times taking hockey practice and all that stuff and blah, 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 blah. Like, I understand that. But to take the whole pie and then another pie that he doesn't even own yet, it's ridiculous. So, the story last week came up, basically Jack Johnson right now is trying to liquidate everything he possibly can to get his money back so the debt isn't like terrible and he can file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, I guess, which basically means he'll be able to at least keep the money that he's earning now, and then he can pay off the debt, you know, at his leisure kind of deal, instead of owing everything right up front now, or having loan debtor guys take out X amount of dollars off his paycheck so he can live on ramen noodles. But there's a house that's worth $500,000, and his parents are living in it. Like, they literally don't give a shit. And he told his parents, he's like, yo, you gotta leave because I can't sell this house until you leave. And they said, in a easier kind of sense, go screw off, you douche nozzle. So Jack Johnson basically said, okay, I'm gonna change the locks and you are gonna lose all your stuff. And that's what he literally did. And now his parents are kind of taking him to court and like saying, look, Jack Johnson bought this house for us and he made it rent free for us for like until 2020 or something like that. And it's just, it's so ridiculous. Like, first off, it's mystifying to think that somebody's parents would do that to their own, like, flesh and blood. And it kind of makes me feel more like, well, family is the people that you meet and all that stuff, and not necessarily your blood. Well, that makes sense now to Jack Johnson. Oh, jeez. But, second of all, to fucking cock block him when he's trying to, like, fix his life, like, to fix the mess that they made, like, it's just absurd. It is literally absurd. And I know I've heard, like, there's a bunch of stories on the the Players Tribune blog where there's a story about Patrick O'Sullivan who got abused by his dad and stuff, and like that stuff, I get in a way, because it's a thing that I can conceivably think that happens in, you know, some people's lives because of one thing or another. But this situation where the parents just take all of their son's money, it's insane. It's like I'm in the fucking Twilight Zone or something. But good luck to Jack Johnson. I hope his lawyers can do something, and I hope he can actually like enjoy the money that he's earning right now at some point. And it's a good thing he's making $30 million, I suppose, too. Alright. So speaking about the Players Tribune, it's a great blog, by the way. If you don't know, a bunch of like athletes from different sports, they kind of write about things in their lives. There might be ghostwriting involved too sometimes. But the hockey section, if you're into hockey, it's the most amazing reads you'll ever experience. Like, there's one about Bryce Salvador, about him retiring and all the things that he went through before he retired. Like, he had back problems and stuff, and he played through them. He had concussion issues, that's why he was bad the last couple of years, apparently. It's some intense stuff. The last one that just went up today, or maybe the last couple of days, was on Anaheim Ducks' Ryan Kessler. He was talking about how to be an American hockey player, like the things that he went through. And I won't divulge too much, because you guys should take a read, but I like how pretty much his parents gave him Ninja Turtle figurines as a kid if he played well, and not just score goals, but to just play responsible hockey, like back check and do all the like little things, win the battles in the corners. That was kind of cool. I mean, I'm a Ninja Turtle fan, so I can understand. And like how he like got into hockey because of NHL '94 and playing Steve Yzerman in the Red Wings. That seems like that's like almost every American kid's kind of way of getting to hockey, was just NHL '94. But he talks about, you know, his trials and tribulations in junior hockey and bantam hockey, and, you know, his way at like looking at how to play as a hockey player. It's some really cool stuff. So definitely check it out. And of course, if you're into other sports like baseball and stuff, I know there's one with Derek Jeter and a bunch of other cool stuff. Oh God, why? Oh, I'm gonna win this anyway. So another close one, but it's a good thing I scored 4 goals instead of 3 this time, and I get a win game 1, so that's great. Oh, another thing I mentioned that he mentions that I'll let you guys know is that before every game when he was a kid, since he would take long drives and drive all over Michigan to play games, before he get into the arena, he would play Jock Jams Volume 1, if you guys remember that jam from the 90s. And I remember as a kid, at the library, they had CDs, and one of them was Jock Jams, so I would just take that thing out every single time, and it would be my jam for, like, going to school and stuff. So I have mad respect for Ryan Kessler in that regard. Alright, let's check out the 3 stars. Your 3 stars are Toulouse with a hat trick, and your second star is Alex Hemsky with a goal and assist, and Jason Spezza with a goal and assist. As we check the stats, 10 shot advantage for New Jersey. Passing, again, the computer is just spot on with that stuff. I'm just more of like, just get as many passes down as possible. 0 for 3 on the power play, which is not the greatest in the world, but, you know, you do what you gotta do. Alright, so I underestimated time again, but I will blaze through the NWHL stuff again, because I looked the stuff up, so we might as well use it, right? Oh, if you want an update on the New Jersey-Columbus game, it is now 5-1 in the third period, so that game is looking like it's lost. Great job, New Jersey. Alright, so over the NWHL, which is the Women's League, every team's got one game left. Pretty much the playoff seeding is set with wins from Boston and Buffalo last game. So they pretty much, Boston Seals first, Connecticut is second, Buffalo is third, and New York is fourth. The last New York Rivers game, Buffalo pretty much torched them 5-1. Bray Ketchum was the only person to score a goal, her ninth on the penalty shot in the second, and then in the third period, I swear I was watching New Jersey Devils hockey. It was bad. They got outshot. The Rivers got outshot 15-3 in the third. They got scored on twice. Nana Fujimoto did her best. 25 saves on 29 shots. The final shot totals were 18-30 in favor of Buffalo. My evaluation of the Rivers is that they gotta simplify the game. They're making passes that just were too much for their skill level, I guess. It was very sloppy. They couldn't get out of the zone. They got pinned in for most of the time. I wish the NWHL actually kept stats like time in zone and a little bit of advanced stats kind of deal, but it's very bare bones at this point. But it's just bad. But so New York will play Connecticut this Sunday, and then Buffalo will play Boston as well. And then after those games are done, the playoffs will start. So Boston will play New York, and Boston has a 4-2 advantage in the season series, which isn't too bad, given the fact that Boston's a very good team. Getting two wins out of them is pretty amazing. Connecticut and Buffalo, Buffalo's got their work cut out for them. Connecticut has owned them the whole entire season series. They're 5-0. So Buffalo's going to have to come up with some good strats or something to really take it to Connecticut. Probably a win heading into that playoff round will help. Alright guys, thanks for watching again. Appreciate it. If you want to see more of these streams and stuff, you can always hit that subscribe button. It's always going to be around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. But if you want to be there right when it starts, then you can always hit that subscribe button. But, you know, if you want to. And my Twitter handle, I guess I gotta do all that stuff too, is @Jin4576. So if you want to tweet at me and talk about hockey stuff, then you can totally do that. I will leave you with a quote from Ryan Kessler's blog that kind of sums up the blue-collar hockey kind of style, and it kind of related to me in a way, because that's pretty much how I work, how I feel at work and stuff. So, quote, "To this day, I'll look across from a Taze or a Kopitar, and I'll say to myself, okay, you're more skilled than me, but you're not going to outwork me tonight. It's not going to happen," end quote. Alright guys, thanks for watching again. I'll see you guys later. Peace!